we are entering what will be a pivotal week for Major League Baseball in the 2022 season. Let's discuss it. And welcome back here, folks, to the Sports Talk Nation. Michael Cohen here with you. I know it's been a couple of weeks since our last posting. We are back and ready to rock and roll here as, well, the Super Bowl is now over. Football season is now over, of course, with the Los Angeles Rams defeating the Cincinnati Bengals 23-20 last week in the Super Bowl. And I wouldn't call it the greatest Super Bowl ever played, but certainly a good game that was unfortunately determined a lot by the officials. Some bad calls there on the Bengals there at the end of the game on pass interference. But hey, Bengals got away with one as well with their own offensive pass interference that led to a touchdown. So it was a badly officiated football game for that matter. But again, the Rams were the better team. They had the better talent. And of course, when you have a team like the Rams that was stacked with the number of star players that they had, number of big-time players that they brought in, they were expected to go out there and win the Super Bowl this year, especially with the way things turned out in the playoffs. But think about that before we get onto the baseball thing. 6 of the last 7 playoff games, including the Super Bowl, determined by 4 points or less. It was a crazy postseason this year for the NFL, and a reason why ratings were skyrocketing this year for the postseason. But once the football season comes to an end, once the final gun sounds in the Super Bowl, it usually is the sign that, well, now baseball is just around the corner. Spring training's about to begin. Of course, that's not the case this season. Not at all. Because right now we are still dead in this lockout as Major League Baseball, the owners, and the Players Union continue to have difficulties coming to any terms of an agreement on a new collective bargaining agreement. These are over big core economic issues having to do with arbitration, having to do with the ability for players to seek free agency, especially those who are seeking free agency for the first time, to get out of free agency early, for players to make more money, younger players to make more money. Those are just like some of the core issues that are at play right now between these two sides, and there has been really no movement whatsoever. And now we're in a situation, as we all know, going into this week where Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred, sets a deadline of February 28th to have some kind of deal in place, if they want to save the regular season, and the regular season starting on March 31st. The hope is, if you want to be optimistic, if you want to look at a glass half full, you could sit there and say, well, they're going to meet. Reports are both sides are going to meet virtually every single day this week. At least that is what's been reported. And perhaps a deal can get struck between these two stubborn sides in the next 7 days. But considering that the last time these two sides met on Thursday lasted only 15 minutes and nothing really was accomplished in that regard, I find it hard to believe that over the next 7 days much could change. It could. Certainly could, but it's hard to believe that it would. So we're looking at the really real possibility of losing regular season games. We already know we're going to lose spring training games this year. It was kind of funny when Manfred came out there a couple weeks ago, even a week before spring training was supposed to begin this past week, saying that, oh yeah, we expect everything to start on time, be on schedule. Yeah, we all knew it wasn't going to happen. And now here we are in a situation where it's hard not to be pessimistic about whether we could end up losing regular season games. And, I found this also interesting in the articles that were posted, here also by Jeff Passan of ESPN, mentioning that even if the teams finally agree this week, or even if they end up, losing the start of the regular season, it's still going to take teams some time and players some time to really get revved up. And one big problem that a lot of players had from 2 years ago during the COVID delay of the season, that of course the season didn't start until the end of July, was that there wasn't enough time to really amp up again during the summer to get ready for the regular season. That's what a lot of pitchers have problems with that year. So could we see, even if they were to agree to terms this week, could we see some sort of a delay in the regular season? I'll be honest with you, I don't think anybody really cares at this point. People just want to see baseball again. And even though these are all, billionaires against millionaires, and we hear fans getting frustrated, and hear fans are going to start to get angry that they don't have their teams playing, getting ready for baseball season right now, or even if we get to a point where we end up losing some regular season games, you're going to hear fans get really angry, for that matter. The fact is this: whenever these two sides do come to terms on an agreement, the fans are going to come back to the turnstiles. That's just the bottom line. We're going to talk about it here on this channel. We're going to talk about Mets baseball again on this channel. We're going to talk about the Yankees again on this channel, and other channels for that matter, because that's what we do. We love baseball. So, yes, this is a frustrating time right now. If you're a baseball fan, you want to get amped up for spring training and your thoughts about the upcoming season. And right now, all that's put to the side right now. Heck, I would rather talk about right now what are the keys to spring training for the Mets right now. I'd rather talk about that. I'd rather talk about what the Mets can do to try to finish up building this roster as far as getting another hitter and improving their bullpen is concerned. But this is where we are right now. We are in a situation of just kind of waiting and seeing, and I find it kind of funny. And this is just from the Mets perspective, funny that, we see videos of the coaching staff kind of wandering around spring training, kind of like the Will Smith gif where he's just walking around the apartment, it's empty, just waiting for somebody to show up. And that's what we're all doing right now. We're just waiting for this thing to end so the players can get back onto the field, get ready for the regular season, and we can have baseball again. So that's where we are. We could talk, again, it's all over millions upon millions of dollars. They are core economics that even some of the brightest minds probably would have a difficult time trying to comprehend and digest right away, just off of ink, on paper for that matter. The bottom line is this: the fans want the game back. We all want to see the game back, and the sooner it happens, the better it is for baseball. Am I pessimistic? Do I have my doubts that that an agreement will be reached this week? Yes, I am. Considering that this has been now over 3 months of a lockout, and I know from the fan perspective that, hey, look, you had football season, it was December, it was January, wasn't something that was going to be on the topic of discussion. Now here we are into mid-February, going into March, now it is a topic of discussion. I find it hard to believe that after 3 months of a total lockout, that all of a sudden, in 5-6 days, it's going to change. We'll see. Maybe miracles can happen here, especially after the plans to have a mediator was rejected from that matter as well by the players' union. So we'll see. There's no good guys in this, as we all know. These are never fun when these things happen, no matter what the sport is. But there's never a good guy in this. The loser is always going to be the fans. But the fact is, as I said before, however this should turn out, fans are going to be there. Whether it's 162 games, 120 games, 110 games, 100 games, fans will be there one way or the other. Folks, follow us right here on the Sports Talk Nation. Like and subscribe here below. Leave your thoughts below. What do you think about this lockout? Are you optimistic that a deal gets reached, that we can get back to talking about some baseball again here in the next couple of days? Or are you pessimistic? Are you deeply concerned that we could see some regular season games get lopped off here for the 2022 season? Leave your thoughts below. Like and subscribe. We'll talk to you next time.